All right. Good morning. If you are in the morning time zone, welcome to the second day of Celtic Knot. Thank you for coming back. In this intro session, I'll go over some of the same points as in the intro yesterday, just in case we have any new people with us. But do stick around if you had all of this yesterday for a special announcement at the end. If we can get the presentation from our stage manager. Perfect, thank you. So what I want to open with is ask you, what is the weather like where you are? I just want to really recognize that we're not in the same place and everybody is somewhere else and might be experiencing different things. This is my amazing weather from this morning, truly uplifting British summer. And if you want to share, it would be lovely to see. Here is the link to the Etherpad for this opening session. Share where you are. Tell us a little bit about the weather where you are. So again, just a quick welcome. This is our organizing crew for the conference. Rebecca from Wikimedia Ireland, Daria, me, and Richard from Wikimedia UK, and Leah from Wikimedia Deutschland. We also have a team of facilitators, heralds, help desk moderators who have been doing an amazing job so far and are still with us today. So that's us. Before I go any further, I just wanted to remind everybody of the friendly space policy, which holds for all of the channels and spaces that we have at this conference. We have this policy to provide a great experience for all the participants and have an atmosphere of collaboration and support. So the main guidelines of the policy are to be respectful to each other, to encourage participation and positive atmosphere, to be mindful of how your actions impact others and how you take space in this conference. And of course, feel free to ask for help at any time and help others. The full policy can be found on the link that you can see on the slide. But just to highlight one thing, from there, we are very keen for everybody to respect people's privacy and anonymity. The live sessions are recorded, of course, and broadcasted publicly, including the comments. But if you are recording anything else or capturing, just ask for permission, especially any social events that might not be recorded otherwise. And also, just to mention, the organizing team will be especially careful about any content that we or behaviors that we don't want at the conference, such as harassment, violence or threats of violence, personal attacks, unwelcome sexual attention, or unwanted content, such as posting things that are just irrelevant to the conference. And at the bottom of the slide, you can see a contact to our Trust and Safety volunteer, Stuart Pryor, and that's his Telegram handle, and also his email. So just to remind us of the concept of the conference, this is an event to bring people together to support each other in their work in working on Wikimedia projects in underrepresented and under-resourced languages. There is a particular focus on Wikidata because of its power to support that work. So it's a knowledge sharing environment and place to exchange tools and share problems. There is a growing community around this conference, and a lot of people here have a particular love of languages. And yesterday at the closing session, I asked you which languages that were highlighted you wanted to learn. And to be frank, I was quite surprised. Everybody wanted to learn all of the languages. Both the Maltese and Irish were top of the list, with the Moroccan Darija and Wikidatan a close second. So clearly a lot of interest in languages. There is some people at this conference that are from maybe outside of the Wikimedia movement, but in organizations that are maybe interested in Wikidata or interested in how to support underrepresented languages, and I hope this event will be helpful to them in exploring those areas. And as mentioned, this conference was originally thought of as an in-person event that was meant to take place in Ireland, in Limerick. You can see some of the pictures there of what we would have seen if we were there in person, but to give us a little bit of flavor of what it would be like and just a little bit of an Irish experience, I will now hand over to Rebecca to tell us a little bit more about that.
Thank you so much, Daria, and Céad Fáilte. Welcome to our second day. So just to kind of a little bit more, I suppose, tongue-in-cheek this morning, or just a little bit more kind of general knowledge. So this is an art installation from outside the Hunt Museum, which would have been our host for today's events. And this is referred to as the horse outside. Now, this is based on a song by a band that is local to Limerick called the Rubber Bandits. Some people, especially from the UK, might be aware of Blind Boy Boat Club. He tends to appear with, or he always appears with a plastic bag over his face, so he has anonymity as well, interestingly. But just to warn you, so this is based on a song of theirs, which is actually a decade old now, but it is definitely not suitable for work. And if you are not used to perhaps how much swearing sometimes the Irish can do, especially when we're a little bit excited or celebrating, you might find it a little bit tough. But to go for something, I suppose, a little bit more general, some Irish vocab. If we go to the next slide. So this is kind of a dual purpose. So these are some of the photographs that have been uploaded by the Hunt Museum. So the dress there is one of the dresses by Sybil Connolly, who's an Irish designer in the 50s and 60s. Her dresses were worn all over the world, probably most famously by Jackie O. And then some of the archaeological material that the Hunt Museum has been recently uploading to Commons. And I just wanted to use, I suppose, these objects as a way of illustrating some of the words. And I think one of the things we find interesting, especially after Kevin's talk yesterday, is the similarities that certain groups of languages have, and perhaps, I suppose, the nice little Easter eggs that you might find sometimes in a language to kind of say, oh, that's very similar to a word in ours. So very quickly, a guna. Guna is a dress. We're looking at a dress, and it's curcra, it's purple. It's fashion, so it's fashion. It's modelled on a mannequin or a model, and it is made of lindach, which is linen. With the archaeological item, it is a fáinne, a ring. It is made of gold, ore. It is, I suppose, you could perhaps call it a Celtic artifact, so Dainta Celtic. It's Shandá, it's ancient, and it is archaeological, so it's Shandálach. So you might find that there's some little kind of similarities, perhaps in pronunciation or in the word that comes from, but hopefully it was of interest anyway. Thank you so much, Daria.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to hear a bit of Irish. And with that, let me just talk you through the program very quickly. Firstly, just the general concept, as you are probably familiar with already. We have the live element, the main program, with lots of breaks and mostly short sessions, not to overwhelm you. There is the video pool and the kind of social element. With the main program, I think one of the reflections we've had so far that when we are in an in-person event all together, we might be jet lagged, but at least we're in the same time zone. Whilst with this one, there is a bit of a challenge working out when everything's happening. But if you're all here, then I think you've got a hang of it, which is great. Just to say a little bit about the program. So again, all the live sessions are linked from that main site onto YouTube. There's the discussion spaces again with Etherpad, with note-taking and questions. And fun fact, you can watch all the live sessions from yesterday because they were recorded. So just like in the main program, if you click on the watch on YouTube, you will be able to relive all the moments from yesterday's live talks. Just a little bit of an overview of what's happening today. In about 20 minutes, we'll have another keynote from Darach, who is an Irish writer, podcaster, and an Irish language activist. So I very much look forward to that. The break we have after that is very long. There is plenty of time for you to take a break, stretch, watch some videos. Again, that could be from that video pool or even the live talks from yesterday. And after that break, again, very exciting, we'll have a Wikidata workshop from our very own Leah and Nicholas. So do come to that. I think it's going to be very interesting. In the second part of the day, again, lots of excitement. I'm very much looking forward to the panel discussion on COVID-19 and languages. This is our longest session of the conference, but we thought it important to give space to this panel and to hear from different communities and how they've experienced opportunities and maybe also some barriers in dealing with COVID information in their languages. After that, we'll have a short presentation about search support for minority languages. This is going to be a short presentation with a lot of time for questions. My first question is going to be, what does search support mean? But what I do know is that they have a strong focus on supporting languages. So it will be interesting to interrogate them and see how their work can help you. So that's the main program. I would love to hear in the YouTube comments, what are you most excited for today? What are you looking forward to? And do comments so that we can see what are you looking forward to. Now, when we wrap up the main program of the conference, we have another social event. And this time it's a quiz. A few exciting things about that. Number one, it's a quiz. Also, it's going to be run on Google Meet, which means that we will be able to see each other, which I think will be wonderful. We can finally feel like we're in the same space. You don't need a Google account to join this. You just click the link for that's in the program. You can see it highlighted there, and you'll be able to join it. Also, Google Meet has a closed caption function, so anybody who has been excited about that, you can test it out at the quiz tonight. There's also an experiment that we want to try during that session, a group photo. So let me explain the concept to you. This is an experiment. We want to generate some content that would be kind of equivalent to a group photo, create something that will make us feel like we're together. So there's a few options for that, and you can do all of them. Option one, take a photo of your mug, your favorite mug that you've been using for the conference. If you're on the social channel on the Telegram, you'll see there's been a lot of excitement this morning about tea. So I hope that connects somehow. So you can either take a photo of your mug or a selfie with your mug and post it to the Telegram channel if you like, or email it to Leah and we will collate it somehow. And you can do it anytime from now until the end of the main program. So this mug shots, I think, is going to be mostly internal just for the conference because I don't even want to think about the copyright for that. But it's something to make us feel together. And then the other option is this screenshot of us together at the Google Meet. It's the quiz today at 4:30 UTC. And so the instructions for that are, if you want the photo, but you're not interested in the quiz, just show up in the beginning. We'll try that at the start, and then you can go. If you are interested in the quiz, but don't want the photo, I think you can still come. Just don't turn your camera on, and you wouldn't be included in the photo. So hopefully that makes sense. Any questions, ask either on the YouTube chat or in the Etherpad for this session, and we'll try to coordinate that. I hope this works. Quite excited for that. Now, let me just quickly talk you through the other elements of the conference. So there's still the video pool, like I said, and we've premiered it yesterday, and I'm really pleased to announce that the reviews have been really good. I've been really pleased to see that our premiered videos are doing well, and everybody is really liking them, especially I think all of them are good, but the Basque talk has been especially good. It has captions in English, so please do enjoy them if you haven't seen them yet. And as mentioned, there is the social spaces, so all the channels that you're probably already aware of. One thing I wanted to highlight is the help desks. Those are the two bottom links on this slide. Those are Etherpads that we were hoping to use as a help space for anybody that wants to ask questions, either basic or not basic questions about Wikidata, or any questions helping you kickstart your own Wikipedia. So do use those spaces. They're being monitored, and it's something that we always have at the Celtic Knot, this sort of exchange and help, and we're hoping to replicate it with this space. And just to say lastly, take care of yourselves during the conference, take breaks, enjoy your refreshments, and wash your hands. So thank you very much. This is the tour of today's conference. I really hope you enjoyed today. Any questions, put them on Etherpad or on Telegram, wherever you want to, whichever channel you want to use. And in about 10 minutes, we will have our second keynote of the day, of the conference, on the separate link, as we have done already. So I really hope you enjoy it. We'll now leave the stream open for a minute or two in case you do have any questions on YouTube, any more conversation there. But other than that, I'll see you in 10 minutes at the keynote.